Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar, and this is the recap review for Zatima. So, I'm very late. I'm like 5 to 7 hours late doing this particular episode of the recap review because I started getting phone call after phone call, message after message, and I am just now being freed up. When I should have been in the bed at least like four at like 4, and it's like 5 now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get through this, and I have one more thing I got to do, which is gonna take me 45 minutes to an hour to complete. So I'm gonna be getting into bed about 6:30. So hopefully, I will get all of that rest and wake up in enough time to get ready, leave out. I have to make sure that I am okay getting to work because it is very windy, and the rain will be going on as well from the residual effects of Ian. So yeah, definitely keep me in your prayers. And yeah. So let's go ahead and get on with this recap review. So the episode started where it left off last time. And this heifer Belinda is really trying to feed the crock of bull to Fatima as if she was trying to see if Zach was going to try her because she don't trust him. Girl, you know he no good. You know how he is. And I'm just like, girl, what in the... Girl, I can't. What is you talking about? And so she just keeps talking about how trifling it is. Like, she just kept getting more and more reckless by the mouth. And so... Keep in mind, Fatima was up there the whole time. She done heard the whole exchange. She already know what it's hitting for. So Zach notices that Fatima is reaching for her purse. Now, this is not the typical Erykah Badu situation where she gonna have to reach down in her purse and pay your way and your homeboy's way and sometimes your cousin's way. She about to reach down in her purse and pull out something that's gonna leave something hot up in you. Okay? So, Zach already knew what it was hitting for. Belinda, for some reason, was not picking up what she was putting down. In my mind, I'm like, what? How is this your best friend and she don't know what's going on? Is she being that blinded in this moment that she don't see what it's hitting for? I don't understand. Because I even saw what it was hitting before he even said anything, before he even reached for the purse. So he done reached for the pocketbook, as he called it. Because y'all know good and well, Zach is not from the South. Like, he is not. He is from, like, New York or something. Like, in real life. But I'm just saying, whatever. I'm just saying. Like, I hope that Tyler Perry and them never thought that we were supposed to buy that he was from, somewhere else. Maybe we are supposed to buy the fact that, yeah, he is from up north, but he went to school down here in the South like a lot of people tend to do, and then he just decided to stay in the A like everybody else. Like, everybody named mama to move to Atlanta. I don't know if that's what the gimmick was supposed to be. Is that what we're supposed to infer? I have no idea. But anyway, this boy said pocketbook. And I was like, not pocketbook. You done went off. You done been down in the South for a little bit too long to say pocketbook. He ain't say purse. He ain't say bag. He said pocketbook. But anyway, I was like, oh, not pocketbook. So he done reached for the pocketbook, knowing that she reaching for the pocketbook. He tried to talk her off the ledge. Now, Belinda don't know what the conversation is, and she calling him all out his name, calling him sorry, all of this other stuff, like really calling him trifling. And so y'all know how angry he tends to get. But at the same time, he is trying to allow his cooler head to prevail, even though his past is essentially catching up with him. It's just too much stuff popping off. So he trying to save Belinda, not knowing... This heifer is just not knowing that he's trying to save her, even though he's saying, I'm trying to help you. Sir, you were trying to save her. Okay? Yeah. He was like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help. I was like, no, you're trying to save her. But anyway, so he got his hand on the purse, and he going back and forth with this heifer, but at the same time trying to calm Fatima down, because he was like, no, you're not calm. You're not calm on the inside. And so Belinda is seeming to become irritated by the fact that he over here talking to her and trying to calm his woman down. It's like, in her mind, it's as if, like, girl, who you supposed to be? Why you think you doing something over there trying to talk to my friend, like you calming her down? Like, who are you? That's the energy she was giving off. And I'm just like... Again, you cannot be that great of a friend. I don't see how y'all best friends and you are not picking up what she putting down. How are you not noticing that your best friend is reaching for her purse? Zach even knew that this heifer was reaching for her purse, which means she reaching for a gun. Okay? So she ended up having to reach down in the purse. When he didn't feel her doing it because he was too busy going back and forth with Belinda, she pulled that gun out, and while that heifer was running her mouth, and like Zach had by this time had just went off and was talking to this heifer, like really trying to tell her, you need to go, you need to leave. Heifer wouldn't leave. Fatima ended up firing off. Both of them hit the ground, hit the deck. They done set it off. You would have thought somebody said fire in the hole the way they hit the ground. But anyway, so they both looking at her like, wait a minute. Yeah. And I'm just like, if nobody has even been grazed, I'm gonna need for y'all to know that you need to run, never come back, because Fatima don't miss. Anybody who knows Fatima or knows of the legend of Fatima, that's what I'm gonna call her, you know that this heifer don't miss. So anyway, this heifer is too stunned to speak pretty much. And Zach is like, wait a minute, it is what it is. So Fatima done rolled right up to this heifer with the gun in her hand, still going off. Zach then had to raise up and tackled her down to the bed. This heifer is still looking like she too stunned to speak. And she kind of leaves like, dang, I can't believe she just shot over here at me. Wait a minute. And she left. Zach is still struggling to get this heifer to calm down, because she's still trying to get up off the bed to come snatch this heifer with the gun in her hand. So he telling her to calm down, asking her, is she okay? I was like, not asking if Fatima is okay when she was the one firing off. But I get what you mean. I heard you. I hear you. I know what's going on. So anyway, she tired of her spirit, because it's like she's already had to deal with other outside forces. Every time you look up, somebody setting it off, somebody rolling up, somebody coming out the woodwork. Now everybody want to come out the woodwork now that Zach got money. Oh, okay, this is too much. It's too much going on here. I thought we had a victory, but no. As soon as you take one step forward, you get knocked 5 steps back. Don't nobody have time for this. So she's tired of her spirit. Tired of the way. Listen, that whole song is playing for her. She tired of her spirit. So anyway, Zach left her upstairs, and she's supposedly sleeping, which I don't believe she was. I feel like she just closed her eyes, and he just like, all right, let me just go downstairs and do a little tidying up. And while he's doing that, he gets a knock at the door. Now, it's late. The sun been gone. The sun, y'all know, this is the middle of the night at this point. It was dark when she left out initially. But what I forgot to mention was, before we get to that part, this heifer sat up there and planned everything out. She was like, oh, well, I mean, I knew you were going to be gone for like 2 hours because you told me what you was getting done in your head. She was like, oh, you planned it out. Oh, okay. So, yeah, Fatima really connecting the dots, and she tired of her spirit, and this heifer is dead to her now. So, anyway, moving forward. So while he's tidying up, he get a knock at the door, the doorbell ring, one of the two happen, and it's her friend Angela. And so he's like, she don't want to talk to nobody right now. She can't talk to nobody right now. She's asleep. And, she was like, well, I do need to still talk to her right now. And so she was like, she's had a long day. It is what it is. Like, she's already had one friend to come in here and break her heart. Now, I don't know what you going, but, So she got fed up with him, and she ain't really trying to hear nothing he's saying. And then she proceeds to scream out Fatima's name. So then Fatima was like, let her up, Zach. And so she go up the steps. And while she going up the steps, she going to tell Zach that her man Bryce in the car, and that he might need to go talk to him. And I'm like, girl. So anyway, he done let himself into the house, and she walking up the steps. And so he looking like, dang, what is going on? So they go outside to have beers and to talk. So while they outside talking, Angela done went upstairs and talking to her. So she's trying to understand what all happened, and is trying to make sure that what Fatima is processing is really what happened. And she was like, yes, I was here the entire time. I overheard the whole situation. And so, she was like, well, Belinda came to me and she said this, that, and the other. She was like, no, this heifer lied. She trying to make it seem like she was doing this so that she could prove to me that Zach is no good. But she was the one who was pushing up on him the whole time. He wasn't trying to push up on her at all. And so she was like, well, what I'm saying? You tried to kill her. Like, what is going on with all this? She was like, girl, what is we talking about? Hey, okay, like, If I wanted her dead, she'd be dead. I was like, I'm a need for y'all. Y'all cannot be her friends. Y'all cannot be her real friends. Like, I'm just like, how is that helpful her best friend and did not, I still can't get over that. Like, I have friends right now that I can look at a look that they're making and I know exactly what they're thinking. And these are people who I do not hang out with all day, every day. I ain't seen them like in I don't know how long. But when I see a certain look on their face, I already know what time it is. But this heifer couldn't even see her reaching for her purse and to know, oh, I might need to go ahead and do what Zach told me to do and go home. Oh, okay. Girl, bye. I ain't got time for it. So anyway, she done read this heifer and told her, you are too nice. Told Angela that she's too nice and all of this, which is true. Now, I mean, I might be somewhat seen as that type of a person, but like, I feel like nowadays I'm more 50-50. Like I will be that. I'm a genuinely nice person, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let you mess over me no more. In the past, I used to just let you do what you do, and once you showed me you were trash, I'm like, oh, it hurt my heart, and it really, really hurt me, and I went through this grieving process. Now I'm just like, child, and I would laugh and go on by my business. Like, I mean, it's not that it still doesn't hurt, especially if there was a lot of time put into it, and I thought that it was a genuine friendship or whatever. But if it didn't work because you were trash and you thought that you was gonna get over, it is what it is. Good riddance. So anyway, the guys are outside talking. Zach is like, I have apologized to her, and a lot of this stuff is happening because of what I did in my past. And so he was like, man, you can't even think like that. It is what it is. And of course, Angela gave him the low down on what happened. So, you know, he know what all went down. He already know what's going on. It's too much going on. So, you know, essentially after they had their little hashing it out type of a situation going on, they went back in the house. Angela came downstairs and apologized to Zach and was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. So anyway, after everybody left, he went upstairs to talk to Fatima. Fatima under the covers. She crying like she a G. Fatima is a G and she up here crying. So one thing that y'all need to understand about us real G's is that, you know what I'm saying, sometimes we do have to release a couple of tears. Because if you let them build up too much, you will become a serial killer and ain't nobody got time. Let me stop. No, but seriously, like sometimes you gotta let that stuff out because the anger will become way too much. So I'm glad that she's letting it out. And hopefully she gonna get some therapy. But she was just like, you know, he trying to tell her that she gonna need to do better and she gonna have to do away with the gun and all this other stuff. And so she was like, I'm gonna work on it, whatever. He keeps apologizing for what he did, which was something that happened before he even knew of her existence. And I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, but she just was like, look, I'll try. That's all I can promise you. And he was like, well, I guess I ain't got no choice but to accept that. So he done got up the next morning and he cooking eggs and bacon and all this other stuff. And he gets a phone call from the realtor. And she was like, well, you know, I have somebody who wants to swing by and see the property and all of that. And so he was like, okay, you know, I'll be around. Let me know. Fatima come downstairs. She got on her workout gear. She about to go for a run. So they talking. He asking her, how does she feel? She says that she feels, you know, it is what it is. She feel a little bit better, but she's about to go and take a run. She got a long day ahead of her, and she just gonna be home late, but you know, it is what it is. We gonna figure out what we need to do. Did I forget something? I feel like I forgot something. Did I forget? I think I was thinking of what happened in the last episode when the baby mama, you know, showed up. But anyway, while they were in the middle of talking, you know, you could tell that the way she was talking that she's really, really tired and exhausted. And she was just like, a lot is going on and I would love to take a vacation, but I can't. So I gotta go, you know, take a run. And he was like, well, I can take you on vacation. This man talking about to Florida. And she was like, what? She over here thinking like the Bahamas and all kinds of other places that are not here. Yeah. And he was like, oh, you must have forgot. I can't do all of that because, you know, of my record. And so she was like, oh, yeah. Then she gonna play talking about, oh, well, I could just tell you all about it and I'll see you when I get back. And he was like, yeah, we're not gonna play like that. Anyway, so it got to a point where she was like, well, I'm finna take this run and then I'm gonna go to work. And so he over here like, hold up, I'll go with you. So she was like, good and well, you ain't gonna be able to keep up. He gonna try to read her, talking about, oh, you think you should call her Richardson. And so she was like, yeah, more like Flojo, but go off though. So anyway, they go for a run. He toe down. His back about to give out. He looked like he is like trying to like speed walk. And I cannot. She used to run track in college. I'm like, yes, girl, you better do that. So anyway, it is what it is. He can't keep up. He like, all right, go on ahead, do what you're gonna do, because she need to finish up her run and get to work. So she start leaving. He over here trying to get his life together, and this woman passed by them who was thick. Let me look at her face again, because I'm like, I know that ain't who I think. I think this is a random person, but she thick. And so, no, that's a random person. And so she real thick. She got on a whole outfit that's the color of my glasses, right? And so he over here looking at her as she passed by, and Fatima is like jogging backwards because she already saw what it was hidden for. And so she was like, I got my eye on you or whatever. And I'm like, girl, I'm the type of person, I don't care. You have eyes. You can see. As long as you don't touch, you ain't lusting after these people in your heart. You need to give all of that energy to me. That's what you need to do. Oh my gosh, y'all. For those of y'all who watch my What Are They posts, I might be able to tell y'all the good news sooner, because I think, yep. I'm seeing messages are flooding my phone. Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all so much stuff and popping off. Wasn't expecting that. Let me calm down. I'm so excited, y'all. It ain't even my news, but I'm going to share it between now and the next 3 to 5 days, okay? Okay. So anyway, but yeah, so she leave, going by her business, and she literally bumps into her ex. And her ex, I'm talking about the man who left her when he was about to go marry somebody else. Like, he had a whole fiance, was dealing with her. She didn't even know all this foolishness was popping off, and she felt hard for him. And so she done set it off, and he over here talking about, hey, how you doing? Can I talk to you for a minute? She don't want to hear nothing he talking about. And he talking about, can I take you to dinner? She looking at him like, no, ain't nobody got time for that. Zach get a phone call, and, so he on the phone. But then now, after he didn't get off the phone, he realized that, she having a conversation with him. He rolled up trying to figure out what they got going on. She was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This guy just rolled up on me. Remember that guy I told you about? Who, left me and married somebody else? He done did all of that. It ain't even with the heifer. It didn't work out. She said, aha! I was like, no. No, ma'am. No, you didn't. So that was hilarious when she laughed at him. So she was like, I knew it. So, it is what it is. She was like, I ain't trying to meet up with you, whatever, and went on by her business. The way that Zach smacked her booty when she left, I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about. So anyway, he ended up meeting up with Bryce later on because he's trying to find office space. He ended up being able to eventually secure office space. And like I told y'all before, I had gotten ahead of myself. Sorry about that, but they started running together. But it's a situation where Zach and Bryce are going to share this office space, having their own offices. It's going to be called Rise Ventures. And it's because of everything that he's overcome, he's been able to rise, get up, rise above, all of that. Whatever you want to interpret it as, that's what I'm interpreting it as. So yeah. But that's what he wants to call it, Rise Ventures. And you know what I'm saying? Because he wants to get into the realty, house flipping, all that stuff. And he's going to have to have somebody who can really get him in the door, because he don't know all that stuff. Like, he don't know the ins and outs. He trying to do all this stuff. But anyway, so he going to go in on him with the rent every month. So they're going to be able to get that. That's cool. It is what it is. So anyway, then we end up seeing Fatima at work. Angela done popped up and, wondered was she there, and she is. Fatima went into the bathroom, checked all the stalls, made sure nobody was in there, And she was like, girl, I can't break down at work. This is when Angela finds out she's not only upset about what Belinda had going on, she's upset because she saw her ex. She was like, girl, no, like you were gone over him. She was like, I know. And so she was just like, I thought I was over him and all of this. I'm like, girl, not you thought you was over him. Like, girl, she was like, I love Zach. I know I love Zach, but I don't know about this situation. Da, 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 da. I'm like, girl, be done. Like, this man showed you exactly who he was. Ain't nothing else for y'all to discuss. But anyway, she feels some type of way. And it's funny because when Zach was talking to Bryce earlier, before he ended up, ending the conversation with him, when they were talking about the office space, he was like, I saw her, how you see somebody and it might, bring up something, old feelings or whatever. He could see that when it came to Fatima. And in his mind, it's like, is it because it's old feelings or is it because of what she feels because of what happened last night or what's been going on over the course of the last few days, not because of the ex. So I'm like, dang, not you being right. But anyway, so I'm so sick and tired of this raggedy friend. But at the same time, I mean, it makes sense. So the friend that we saw on the first episode that was playing basketball with them, the trifling one that's married, he over here talking about some heifer having a birthday party and you going. And he was like, man, I ain't going to a birthday party. He was like, and you ain't going either. Your wife ain't going to let you go. So he over here, he out here thotting and bopping. He think he a city boy and all this other stuff, child. So it makes sense that they were friends and are friends because Zach was in their life. But at the same time, now that he's elevated, not because he has money, but because he's trying to be a better man, he needs to help him to become a better man like he is so he can stop this foolishness or cut ties, because that's not cool to have somebody like that in your supposed, circle. Ain't nobody got time. So Fatima at work trying to get her life together and she has a visitor. It's like, dang, 2 people in a row. It's Ian. Ian done rolled up, and the woman that was playing the receptionist, whoever this woman is, because a lot of these people are not the same people that be on Sisters. And I'm just like, child, somebody brought that up on one of my other recap reviews of this show, which is true. And I have been saying to myself, I ain't even gonna bring it up, but it's just blaringly obvious now. So anyway, he done rolled up. He was like, I had to come and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure I came and talked to you, whatever. And so she was like, well, no, we can't go to dinner. I don't know about all of that. And so then it ended up being a situation where it was like, well, I have cancer. This man told me he has stage 4 cancer. And now she's feeling some type of way about it. Because it's like, you're telling me that you have cancer. Now she's trying to figure out about her feelings. And now everything is really becoming muddled. It's just too much. It's too much that's going on. And so now she is agreeing to go out, but not to dinner, but to go and do coffee. So she feels some type of way. She gonna have to figure out if she's gonna tell Zach about it. It's just too much going on. I feel sorry for her. She went to her desk and cried and everything. But yeah, y'all, that's it. Thank y'all so much. Have a good one.